Okay.
Looting is not liberation. George W. Bush calls for unity, equal justice during George Floyd protest.
Okay, so this is a picture of him talking about Social Security.
Oh no. God forbid we cut out boomer bucks. See, what if Black Lives Matter and the boomers start fighting each other over the government welfare? Wouldn't that be interesting? I mean, that's what the left is already doing for the most part. Like, you even have like the trans community splitting up into pieces. You know, you have lesbians hating on trannies, and yeah, it's. There's also like vegans clashing with indigenous people. Yeah, so I mean, there is potential for the left to segment, but unfortunately, Antifa is like
indigenous people.
Yeah, indigenous. Like, you know, there's vegans pushing the agenda that everybody should be vegan, which I'm honestly kind of neutral about. I find myself apathetic. And they're like,
Even to like the Native Americans who have been living off the land,
I
off
guess, or more specifically, like Inuits
buffalo
and
and
Eskimos.
corn.
Like Inuits and Eskimos, but they don't really have anything other than like dried fish,
Meat
jerky,
to
which is really isn't healthy. But I don't see why we should be
are they
concerned
supposed
about
to
what the
like?
fuck they're eating. Well, I mean,
Are they supposed to like grow wheat?
I mean,
Like,
they could just like move somewhere where they actually have like decent food to eat, other than smoked fish and getting like colon cancer. But
well, that's racist. You're uprooting them.
well,
You're uprooting
exactly.
them.
That's how it started. Now, so then now like being vegan's like a white thing. It's a white privilege thing, and you have to be rich and white in order to afford a vegan diet, because you apparently have to pay like $10 a pound for Impossible Burgers, or I mean
Hey, shut up. The Los Angeles police chief says George Floyd's death is on the hands of the looters.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, it's in the hands of it is in the hands of the cops. The cops get off on the power that they're given, and you're foolish to expect that abuse to never happen. And that's exactly what they did. They fucking punished him. He's in jail. His wife divorced him because of the PR. Like, what the fuck else do you want? Instant death sentence? That's not gonna change him. That's not gonna bring Floyd back to life. Get the fuck over yourselves. You don't like this country, then get out of here. I don't know what else to tell you. You're destroying your own living. You're gonna make your own living standards turn to shit because racism. I mean, nobody's gonna fucking feel sorry for you. Stupid. Mr. Zuckerberg. Trump's looting and shooting reference has no history of being read as a dog whistle. Oh, now they're sticking up for Trump now, after he's fucking executive order against social media. Fuck you.
Okay, I can already feel your juices pumping. I'm gonna start recording now.
Oh man, you haven't been recording? What the fuck, man? Okay,
No,
all right.
I told you we were looking for the next topic, but
all right. Yeah, the blood's flowing. I'm pumped.
All right.
I'm like Cletus after hitting his pipe of meth.
Jesus. All right, so what do we even got here? So Mark Zuckerberg, can you explain more on that?
Okay, just keep the tabs open, and we'll just like flip through the tabs as we run through one another. You can like cut up the video into segments, and yeah, or you can just like stop the recording and start recording on the next topic, whatever. But you know, good luck, because whenever I talk, you know, it's like a train.
Yeah.
So look,
it was nice with the video to shut you up. I just pressed play.
Well, I mean, you could just mute me on your Discord and you won't hear what I say, but I don't know. I'm like half of the content, so.
Okay. So
okay.
I know nothing of this, so.
Have you even started recording yet?
Yeah, we're going right now.
God damn. All right. Okay, so yeah, should we go with the George Bush article first or the Zuckerberg?
Zuckerberg, we're already here.
All right, so Mark Zuckerberg on leaked audio Trump's looting and shooting reference has, quote, no history of being read as a dog whistle. On a tense call with employees, the Facebook CEO defended his decision not to moderate Trump's posts. Yeah, after he signs a fucking executive order. Oh, yeah, okay. Now you're friends with Trump now. Right. Oh my fucking god. And this is from just today, June 2nd. 6 p.m. Eastern time. All right.
4 hours ago.
So, Zuckotron 3000, standing tall in his mighty steel frame. Beep beep boop boop. Hello, I am ready to speak. Beep beep boop boop. You want me to read, or you want to read?
Yeah, you can read.
Okay, all right. Do I have that radio voice that everyone tells me I have?
Yeah.
I fucking stammer. That's a problem. Otherwise, I'd already have a job in radio. All right, let me get my sip of water. In an internal video call with Facebook employees on Tuesday obtained by Recode, CEO Mark Zuckerberg doubled down on his controversial decision to take no action on a post last week from President Donald Trump. In the post, Trump referred to the ongoing protests in the U.S. against racism and police brutality and said, "When the looting starts, the shooting starts." Facebook's handling of Trump's post, which included language similar to what segregationists used when referring to black protesters in the civil rights era, has divided employees at Facebook and prompted them to openly criticize Zuckerberg in a way that they never have before. Around 400 employees staged a virtual walkout of work. They fucking.
How does that work?
Like they're just
so
like saying,
they all
let's role play right now. I'm walking out of work, and just imagine my background.
I work a desk job, and everyone has like Skype, and I'm pretty sure everyone instant message Skype each other like, yeah, we don't agree with this.
They're just like,
and
shake
we're
the
gonna
camera.
walk out virtually.
They just like grab their webcams, like shake the camera, say, "I'm walking out of work. I'm striking because Orange Man bad." That's what it is. Around 400 employees staged a virtual walkout of work on Monday. At least 2 employees have resigned in protest. Others have threatened to resign, and several senior-level managers have publicly disagreed with Zuckerberg's stance, calling for him to take down or otherwise moderate Trump's post, as Facebook's competitor Twitter already has. Well, these guys who are leaving to work, they're probably fucking diversity hires anyways. Nobody's gonna miss them. Just tell them don't let the shit on their ass splat on the door on the way out. This tension spilled over into the Tuesday Q&A meeting around 25,000 employees tuned into, with several employees posing questions that were highly critical of the company's actions and policies and scrutinized whether the company is listening to racially diverse voices in their upper ranks. Thanks, Obama.
Who cares?
Thanks to Obama's policy, and that's why Silicon Valley is fucking infected with this far left nonsense. Quote, "I knew that the stakes were very high on this, and I knew a lot of people would be upset if I made the decision to leave it up." Hold on. Let me correct myself. I knew that the stakes were very high on this, and I knew a lot of people would be upset if we made the decision to leave it up. Zuckerberg said on the call. He went on to say that after reviewing the implications of Trump's statement, he decided that the, quote, right action for where we are right now is to leave this up. Zuckerberg said that he did a thorough analysis of history around the apparent reference in Trump's post, which he called troubling, but ultimately did not find it to be an incitement of violence under Facebook's policies. We basically concluded that after the research and after everything I have read and all of the different folks that I have talked to, that the reference is clearly to aggressive policing, maybe excessive policing, but it has no history of being read as a dog whistle for vigilante supporters who take justice into their own hands, Zuckerberg beeped on the call. He also said that overall, Facebook still reserves the right to moderate Trump. This isn't a case where Trump is allowed to say anything he wants, or that we let the government officials or policymakers say anything that they want. Facebook has largely avoided moderating Trump's posts on its platform. its platform. On March, however, after Recode and other outlets have reported on deceptive advertisements that made a Trump campaign questionnaire appear to be the 2020 official 2020 census, Facebook had removed these ads from the platform. After opening the call, Zuckerberg went on to... You need to scroll down. After opening the call, Zuckerberg went on to take questions. Stop. Okay, good. After opening the call, Zuckerberg went on to take questions from the pre-selected list with the employees asking questions via video conference. Didn't they fucking leave? Why did they... In one of these several tense exchanges, an employee asked Zuckerberg to confirm how many black people were involved in Zuckerberg's final decision not to take down Trump's post. What the... What the hell? Oh my god.
Maybe the fact that he was using freedom of speech.
Oh my god. Oh my god. What the Zuckerberg's answer, just one person. Why are you... just lie. What the fuck? You're screwed anyways. People are... Your opinion is invalid because you're white. Why the fuck does it matter what you say? You might as well just tell them fuck you in the middle of the conference. Just one person? Just one black people and one black person approved this decision. Oh my god. Facebook's global diversity officer. There's a diversity officer. Maxine Williams.
Please tell me he has
only
like a badge.
Group of people. Oh my god, I'm kind of happy I didn't go into IT because this is the shit I'd be dealing with.
I hope the diversity officer probably has a badge that says Lives Matter.
But he doesn't use guns. He just throws dildos as his weapon because guns are racism, I guess. Guns are a symbol of white supremacy, so he just throws dildos at his assailants. Zuckerberg said only a small group of people were involved in the decision-making process, including Facebook COO Sheryl Sandberg and Policy VP Joel Kaplan. It was come under scrutiny for reportedly stymieing? What the fuck? What kind of fucking word is that? Oh my god. Stymieing. Okay, an instance of a ball's lying on a direct line between the cup and the ball of an opponent about to putt. Is this like a...
It's a golf reference.
Okay. What the fuck? Okay, what the fuck is that word? Okay. The employee pressed why the Facebook's head of integrity, Guy Rosen, who was tasked with overseeing efforts around general user safety on the platform. Safety? It wasn't in the final group of decision makers. In response, Zuckerberg appeared to stumble with his reasoning, first saying that he wasn't sure if Rosen was part of the final decision. He then saying he wasn't, but that ultimately Rosen responsible for building and enforcing policies overall and not this particular decision. I don't think it's great that we're not super clear on whether the VP of Integrity was included on a matter of voter suppression and societal violence, the employee said on the video conference. How can we trust Facebook leadership if you show us a lack of transparency, asked another employee. When asked about the criticisms Facebook faced in the meeting, a spokesperson for the company sent Recode the following statement. Open and honest discussion has always been a part of Facebook's culture. Mark had an open discussion with employees today, as he has regularly over the years. He's grateful for their feedback. In an acknowledgement of Facebook's anger over the situation, Zuckerberg outlined several areas of self-designated improvement for Facebook on the call, including being more transparent around the decision-making process for moderating contentious posts. Most notably, Zuckerberg said the company was also considering adding labels to posts by world leaders that incite violence instead of simply leaving them up or taking them down. He also said that since the U.S. may be entering a, quote, prolonged period of civil unrest, they may change their policy on what kind of announcements government leaders can make about state violence, such as excessive use of police force. So, okay, hold on, what the fuck? So he's saying that, oh, I'm not gonna take down Trump's posts anymore. Beep beep boop. To now, we're going to censor police statements about excessive use of police force. What?
Police statements of using excessive.
So are you going to censor the government or not? Are you going to censor politicians or not? Okay, but look, all this bullshit aside, the real reason why that nobody's going to censor Trump is because, like, how many fans does he have? When you take that away, you're taking a fairly decent slice of your ad revenue. Like, the data that users, social media users, like, just like any website, most of the revenue comes from either ads or data brokers. I don't have the exact numbers, but this is just their main source of revenue. So if you censor these people, you're going to have less clicks in this one direction for this region of servers. You're going to have less data to sell, if any at all, to the brokers. And that is like the backbone of all of these free websites, social media. Their sales to data brokers and the advertisements and the data that they collect from you is literally what's keeping them running. Without that, they have no revenue, period. No one's going to fucking pay for social media, especially when it's been free for so long. So, I don't know why he's doing this. It is complete business suicide to censor Donald Trump on any of your social media platforms, or whatever. And I don't know. I guess it takes some kind of special kind of retardation for like Twitter to make that move. But yeah. Not only would it have hurt the like Twitter's revenue as a company, but it also, like, what did it lead to? It led to like what's it called? There's some kind of legal clause that was protecting private platforms as platforms and as publishers and not platforms, because somehow they're legally designated as publishers due to some kind of loophole. And Trump's latest executive order has closed that loophole. So then that these social media companies are now platforms. They lose the rights of a publisher to censor their own content. So let's see, Trump order on social media censure. It's like some kind of like something ship clause, like stewardship clause.
Interesting.
Safe ship censorship clause or something. No, what is it called? God damn it. So yeah, like news companies, they're all publishers because they directly sell to I guess the customers are like the TV stations. The TV stations sell to you through like either your Hulu or Netflix or your cable or whatever. And so the news companies, they're free to censor as they wish because they're legally designated as publishers. But social media platforms, they somehow were able to hitch onto the publisher label, and that's how they got the right to censor. But now, Trump took that away just by, by his huge power. And, yeah. What kind of clauses? I'm pretty sure it was just grandfathered its way past the .com bubble, because obviously it was first developed for like a journalist, but now since information is evolving, we're getting all our shit from the internet rather than newspaper and television. Yeah, so that's
now we're gonna see media outlets like Facebook and Twitter. We're not gonna see them taking sides.
Well, yeah, because how much money is on stake? These companies are fucking huge. They have so many servers all over the country. There's so much money on the table. So he's trying to like stay impartial. I guess maybe that's like he's saying, well, we're not going to censor Trump because we're suddenly against censorship. We suddenly respect the right now. We're going to stop banning Alex Jones and fucking Paul Joseph Watson. But on the other hand, it's like, oh well, when it comes to like government statements about where the police are going to go out, we're gonna consider quarantining that content and like making it like like an obscene content filter. I don't know if you've been on Facebook lately, but for at least a year now, they had like this feature where it just blurs the what's reported as graphic content, and if you want to see it, you can click it, but if you don't, then it's just like blurred. Yeah. I think that's what Facebook's going to do. I mean, it's free because this feature's already been developed and put into all the apps and the web pages by the dev team. So yeah, but
so next Trump speech will be labeled as graphic content, and when you click on to see it, it's just a bunch of American flags.
I guess
the American flag is
but
racist.
then again, since Trump just basically he's basically pointing a gun to the businesses' heads financially. And if they step out of line, then they can Trump can call the FCC on them, and that's the end of Facebook. So that's why they're fucking staying in line now. And Twitter just got rid of those two idiot executives who tried to censor Trump, which is freaking hilarious. Like, it's like shooting your own foot and just expecting it not to hurt. Like, what the fuck are you thinking? Oh man,
all right. I think that's a good place to stop if we're done with this one.
I don't know. We're not done with the article, so I don't know. You want to keep going?
All right. Well, let's finish the article.
After all. Okay. We're gonna leave off. Honest discussion has always been part of the Facebook's culture. Okay, he's grateful for the feedback. Okay, in an acknowledgement of employees' anger over the situation, Zuckerberg outlined several areas of self-designated improvement for Facebook on the call, including being more transparent and around the decision-making process for moderating contentious posts. Most notably, Zuckerberg said the company is considering adding labels to posts by world leaders that incite violence instead of simply leaving them up or taking them down. Oh shit, I already read through this. Okay, while Zuckerberg was at times conciliatory, he was defensive of the Facebook's stance to not make what he views as knee-jerk decisions against content that people could find potentially personally offensive. He said that
that's why I highlighted that.
Oh yeah. Oh, thanks, I guess. He said that even if they do change their policies around moderating potentially violent political speech like Trump's post, it would not happen overnight. These policies have to be developed, Zuckerberg said. There's no way that we can do something like that on the fly. That brings up the question why Facebook isn't more prepared to moderate political speech that pushes the boundaries of its platform's rules, including inciting and glorifying violence. Since the 2016 U.S. presidential election, how Facebook moderates its content has come under fire, and the company has promised to do better. Its long-awaited independent oversight board and meant to review the controversial cases like Trump's post that still hasn't officially launched. Meanwhile, the next U.S. presidential election is less than 6 months away. On the call, Zuckerberg acknowledged that this is only the beginning of employee discussion on the company's handling of the very real controversies coming its way around race politics and police violence. I know we're going to keep talking about this. Some of the issues, they're deep and they are not going to go away anytime soon, Zuckerberg said. And that's the end of the article. In all fairness, the Zuckerberg censorship, the rules were clearly written against the right. And I guess in the end, the censorship, at least from like personal experience, it was slightly left leaning, but it was pretty close to 50-50. It's maybe like 45-55 biased towards the left. And whenever people got censored, I guess it was really bad just like earlier this year and last year, but I don't know, it seemed to tone down a bit. People were regularly getting censored even for just calling names or saying mean things to other people regardless of political affiliations. Even the left was getting censored too. Leftist people for calling each other like cunt or whore or idiot, go kill yourself or whatever, things like that. Those were all getting censored too.
Well, they should be banned.
Well, you're just saying that because
that's hate speech.
Well, yeah, they do get penalized. I mean, if Facebook had the policy where your first violation you're unable to post or talk for 24 hours. Second violation is 3 days. Next is 1 week. Next is 2 weeks, 1 month, and then 60 days is the longest one. And then if that happens enough times, then they either ask for your ID or just shut your account down entirely. So it was almost fair. So he was just censoring everybody in general. And the reason why he's doing that is because he just wants people to stop fighting, and the only thing he can do to make people stop fighting, which is, an impossible task to begin with, is to just do damage control by just forcing everyone to sit around in a campfire, not say anything mean. And people still fucking hate each other anyways. Just because you ban being mean doesn't mean people stop being mean. Because people be mean because they have contrary objectives, and nothing will fucking change that unless we get rid of like a sizable portion of the human population, just replace them with robots, which is going to happen, by the way, which is a good thing for the people who will still be around. But yeah, it's when there's that many people on a platform, you lose control over what's going on. And it's the I guess it also comes from the impression that a whole grasping to the left is what's going to keep your platform going. But then again, there's like all kinds of people on social media, on Facebook, all of these platforms, and yeah, I don't know. At first I was, when I first started thinking about this earlier today, I was just like, oh, the stupid leftist CEO, he's getting exactly what he deserved, Trump 2020. And now I'm like, what? The real cause of this is, again, Obama's enforcement of like anti-discrimination laws or whatever in these fucking companies, and then the companies are required to have like diversity quotas, X number of women, X number of LGBT, X number of ethnically diverse people, and then that's how you get this shit to begin with. If that didn't happen, then the social media would have like stayed like how it was before 2010, back when Facebook was, quite acceptable, and the only thing that would get banned is like, I don't know, like snuff movies or child porn. Other than that, everything else is allowed. And, that's how it would be if it weren't for these fucking diversity policies, these interferences with the free market, mind you. But, equality, because my equality, and that's why Zuckerberg's under all this pressure, and he turned into a fucking robot. Remember when Zuckerberg was a human? Back in the like that early 2000s picture when he was like smiling and with his face in the computer and just flipping the camera off. Zuckerberg must have been a cool guy. He must have been a lot of fun to hang around. Now he's like is he even human anymore? Just because of these fucking diversity quotas. Because of the government interfering with the free market.
Hey, no one can say he's racist, misogynist. No one can say he's any of that if he has no expression, no emotion, and answers everyone like they're just a robot.
Okay. Censorship fucking sucks. And obviously, and considering our political alignment, we're totally against it. But on the other hand, we have no control over the situation. So whenever you get censored, the Streisand effect takes over. The more you censor something, the people who genuinely believe in it are going to push back even further. And that's just and then like the Streisand effect is just Newton's third law in action. The more you censor something, the more unless it's like, I guess with exceptions like Alex Jones, the reason people censor things is because it upsets them. You know how like that Australian lady was like, "Oh, I just don't like these Islamists writing about women's signs. I'm just gonna take them right down." And she just takes them down just because it's offensive. She doesn't even the newscast, the interviewer, like the newscaster holding the mic, asking her why is it offensive. She just shrugs like, "Oh, I don't know. It just looks gross." And she started ripping all those like Islam is right about women posters down. That's the reason why people censor shit. It's because it upsets them. Now, all kinds of people can be like pushing censorship, whether it's like social justice warriors who get triggered. Who get triggered by the literally Hitlers offending them by telling them the truth, or it could be corporations whose business secrets are leaking out. And if you're a business, if you got some secret plans for like the new product, and your competitor is going to find out about it, you're going to launch a campaign with whatever financial resources you have as the company owner to try and shut down the leaks of the products, like Sony's new products. There, yeah, I heard there's like Sony's like somehow breaking some kind of like a copyright law by censoring, by sending lawyers to go after people who were like leaking the next Sony projects and stuff. So these are the two kinds of people: social justice warriors and business, big business fat cats who are in any way pro censorship. Now, the well, I guess you could. I don't know. Fuck, where's I going with this? I guess you can kind of blame human nature for the fact that you. Okay, yeah. Now remember. So, whenever people aren't threatened by something that they know either won't hurt them, or they know is not true. So when you're getting censored, that might be a hint that you're probably right. Keyword probably, unless you're like fucking Alex Jones, and you're just you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Even then, he shouldn't be censored either.
What?
Because you censor him, then you got to censor this other guy because he's kind of like Alex Jones. Even if he's right, it doesn't matter. We got to censor him too because Alex Jones had to be
louder with Crowder.
Yeah, louder with Crowder, for example. PragerU. It's like once you start, there has to be no exceptions when it comes to free speech. Even if it fucking incites violence, okay, who should we arrest? The person talking shit or the person who like caused the violence? Like I call you like, hey, Panda Racing, you're fucking stupid as shit, and then you kill me. Should I go to jail? Should you like pull my dead body out and like put me on trial? He say AVC, bam, guilty. Any final words before your sentencing? I'm just laying there dead, like. Yeah, that's how I see like these free speech laws, and like the Charlie Hebdo incident, where like do you know about the Charlie Hebdo incident?
No.
Okay, so basically,
jog my memory.
And by the way, like I guess this is just my twinkle of hope in Europe. Geert Wilders, who is also he also had this thing similar to Charlie Hebdo, where he held this competition where people are supposed to draw the Prophet Muhammad just to piss Muslim off. And back in Charlie Hebdo, which was like before 2015 some ish. Yeah, there was like this cartoon competition where just people are just making fun of Islam, and then this Muslim guy just comes up and like shoots the whole place up, and I heard maybe like 4 or 5 people died. And since then, the government is just too cowardly to enforce free speech. In fact, they're gonna go after you if you talk shit about Islam, whether it's the UK or France. So in the end,
I have this great idea. Let's invite all these people to our country and then let them walk over everyone, take advantage of the system, kill our people, and then punish our own people after they start complaining about them.
Well, you have the Mexicans, and the Mexicans don't really cause any huge cultural problems or cultural civil unrest in the United States, aside from the gangs and cartels. And the gangs and cartels are basically they're like the shadow government of Mexico, as you might already know. Like you see like those femicide protests in Mexico where that one lady was like freaking skinned alive, like horror movie style. You look at the women's protests, and I don't know if it's just like it's because women are fucking dumb, or it's because this is just how people are in general, men included. These feminist protests, protesting against femicide, they're blaming the government for this. Even though, why would women get like gruesomely killed in Mexico? It's ransom payment for
because there's no law and order there.
Yeah, because there's no FCC, there's no courts to sue people whenever they take a bunch of shit from you and don't pay for it. So your wife is held as ransom, and then your wife gets killed because you weren't forking the money for the cocoa essay. So, and then what are the protesters, which is I'm pretty sure it's almost like 99.9% just like purple armpit haired Mexican feminist women. They're blaming the government.
Please don't.
Yeah, they're not saying shit about the cartels because the cartels will start killing them if they dare talk shit about the cartels. So they go with the next easy target, and the incompetent Mexican government, and they criticize the government because they know the government's not going to do shit. And the cartel is the one that's really in power. As Voltaire once said, whoever the fuck made this brilliant quote, I don't even know who made it. If you want to know who rules over you, just find out who it is you can't criticize. And in Europe, it's Islam. In Mexico, it's the cartels. In America, who is it? Who are the ones that you can't criticize? Who are the ones you can't criticize without being called racist right now? I think that's just a giveaway.
Well, the brothers
Yep.
from the
so they're the ones
other
ruling.
side.
They're the ones ruling the country right now, and they only rule because they riot. And when's the resistance? When's the pushback gonna riot back even harder? I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the boogaloo. I'm waiting for the boogaloo that all these broke white trash keep bragging about. It's not gonna fucking happen.
All right,
as far as I understand.
All right. Well, if there's anyone still watching this when we're already past 30 minutes, so probably not. Please like, subscribe, smash that like button with your
Smash that MF
with
like.
your genitals. Take your genitals out. Like,
otherwise, we'll
detach
raid
your
your
genitals
house and
then
accuse
smash
you
it.
of racism for not letting us kill you, because that's how because racism, and remember George Floyd or something. Yeah. Okay.